Traveling is always quite the unexpected adventure, and rarely does everything go according to plan. This was my first time out of the country, and I soon found myself with lost luggage and no way of going home. Still, the entire experience was absolutely incredible. So welcome to Budapest, Hungary. Hello and welcome to the Hungary vlog. We got to spend New Year's over here, which was really cool because they had fireworks down in the city center and the Christmas market was still here as well, so we got to enjoy that. And then just, of course, the tourist sightseeing type things in Budapest, which the city was absolutely gorgeous, but we had to run through it. And we were able to be here for the very first snow of winter in this area of Hungary, and so that was just like an extra cherry on top, so special. Plus, it's been absolutely so cold, so before this trip had to get a bunch of winter clothing and equipment, so sweaters every day, double layer of pants, shirts, and big coats, gloves, and hats. But it's been really fun. Plus, there's been a lot of delicious food to explore along the way. I'm actually going to show a little bit of our flight in as well, just because I have not flown very often and I absolutely love it, so want to remember that. But then soon we'll get into exploring the city. So let's go. My flight experience is very limited, and although I have been to the Atlanta airport before, I've never been to the international side and flown out of it. So we were going to have a flight go from Atlanta to Amsterdam and then from Amsterdam to Budapest. But the first flight was going to be about 9.5 hours. It was also the first time I've ever flown across the ocean, so that was actually kind of daunting and a little bit scary. And then we arrived in Amsterdam, their time, around 11 o'clock in the day. And from there we flew into Budapest, which only took about 2 hours, which was nothing compared to the 9.5 that we had done. So finally we arrived Sunday evening at our Airbnb in Budapest, and we're in walking distance to restaurants. So we went to a Vietnamese place and had, I think it's called pho, if you pronounce that correctly. I'd never had it before, but it was really good and warmed me up since it was very, very cold. And our Airbnb rooms were a pretty unique layout because you had several bedrooms with a bed on the bottom and then a bigger bed in a loft-like area above, so you could fit 3 to 4 people in each one. And that night, because we were so tired from travel and needed to get used to the time change, we just basically went to bed right after dinner and got 10 hours of sleep. The next morning, our plan was to set out and tour a bit of the city. We wouldn't be staying at this Airbnb anymore because we would be traveling to another city later, so we bundled up and prepared to explore. Our first stop was a bustling market in the city center. There were Christmas decorations and lights everywhere still since the holiday had just occurred, and it was really fun to walk through all of that. Different stands were selling goods like souvenirs, food, candy, art, produce, and tons of paprika, which is the most popular and beloved spice in Hungary. Like, we literally saw it everywhere. There was hot paprika, smoked paprika, plain paprika, paprika in bags, paprika in tins, and traditional Hungarian dishes containing paprika. Of course, I bought some of my own so I could cook at home with it. Once we finished looking around the market, we wandered downstairs below everything and found an entire Aldi. So we picked up some bottled water and discovered that Hungarians love sparkling water. It is offered to you literally everywhere, and probably because the regular water tastes so horrible. The next hour was spent walking along the riverbank and looking at some of the beautiful architecture. It was definitely a blitz of a tour though, because we were supposed to have had time to explore the city the night before, but due to some travel difficulties that had come up, we never got the chance to do that. So we walked through much of it and tried to absorb as many of the sights as possible while we could. while, we started running out of time to tour the city before a bus was scheduled to pick us up for the next destination. So by the time we got to the famous Christmas market in front of St. Stephen's Basilica, we had to speed through. The Christmas market was full of vendors very similar to the one we visited previously, but with the iconic chimney cakes. I wasn't able to get a shot of one, but they look super fun. And of course, there was more paprika, meats, fresh breads, cheeses, stews, and coffee. Even though we boarded the bus and were on our way across the countryside to the next city. There we had a traditional Hungarian dinner, which consisted of fried meat and potatoes. At the next city, we stayed at a hotel, which was really pretty inside. They had a restaurant downstairs and a very cool seating area upstairs with windows that you could see the city out of. So it was nice to kind of take a break and read a book outside your hotel room or do some work. And then the next day it snowed, which we found out was the very first snow of winter there, so that made it extra special. And then for our time in this city, we would always go to the tram stop to travel anywhere we needed to be for that day. We spent a lot of time in the city and touring some of the universities there. And I fell in love with the idea of a walkable city and also just being able to take public transportation where you need to go instead of driving. And then by that time of the day, some snow had accumulated, and so we were having fun playing with it because we don't really have that much snow where we're from. And then the university itself that we visited was absolutely gorgeous. We couldn't eat on the campus though since school was not fully in session, so we did a lot of eating around the city at different restaurants. And in this area there were tons of Euro places, so lots of Greek food, which I didn't have a problem with because I absolutely love Greek food. And then of course they also had a lot of other different restaurants, and at one point, it was for dinner that night, we went to an Indian restaurant and had some really delicious food. It was probably one of my favorite meals. You can't really see, but this is the type of stuff we're having to wear every day, like sweater, thermal, snow boots, double pair of pants, and all that just to stay warm. But thankfully over here it is more of a dry cold rather than a wet cold, so it doesn't feel quite as bad. But when the wind is blowing, you definitely need to have a hat. And my hat has been a lifesaver because it has something that comes over your mouth, so it protects your face from getting pelted with snow and wind. I will never go anywhere cold without it anymore. So I would recommend, if you're going anywhere cold, get you one of these. It's got the hat part, something really soft for your neck, and then this on the inside just comes over your nose and your face, so you're not dying. But this is the hotel room that we are staying the most nights in. Pardon the mess, I'm not going to show a lot of it just because it's not mine. And then we get a balcony, which is crazy. Now we have had to sleep with the door open at night because there's no AC over here, I guess, since it never really gets too hot. But we have this nice view of this building, and then a little espresso coffee station and the bathroom. It was also so much fun just getting to see and meet all kinds of different people and hear their stories about where they were from, their culture, and some of the things that they were doing at that point in time. And then we also got to tour even more coffee shops and restaurants and just immerse ourselves in the different aspects of daily life over there in Hungary. And thankfully we were also able to share meals with people we had never met before and just learned so much. So that was really special and very sweet. And then one of the people we met was able to tell us more about the history of Hungary and pointed out something about the architecture. One of the buildings, on one side you can see that there's so much detail and beauty, and then on the other side it's completely plain, and that was showing how communism impacted the architecture. And then this day was actually New Year's Eve, and so it was so beautiful in the city, the way they decorated with all the lights, outdoor ice skating, and then they even had fireworks and live music. So it was probably the most celebrated New Year's I've ever been to, and it was just absolutely beautiful and magical to experience. On New Year's Day itself, since everything was closed except indoor ice skating, we tried our luck at that. I'd never ice skated before, neither had a couple of my friends, and so we attempted to ice skate, but honestly, me and one other person just had to kind of stay on the wall the whole time. But after about over an hour, I would say, I was finally able to get my bearings a little bit. We also explored one of the local malls and found a bookshop with all kinds of Hungarian books, so I couldn't understand any of it. And then we also discovered a restaurant called Aladdin Euro Bar, kind of like the Disney movie. And then the most special hidden gem that we found was a corgi cafe. I have heard of things like this, like in Japan, you can go to rabbit cafe or a cat cafe, but a corgi cafe? Definitely a dream come true, and I really wish that my sister would have been there because she absolutely loves corgis. But the puppies were so cute, and you could also get little cappuccinos with paw print designs on top. Some of our evenings were spent playing games and singing songs with a lot of the new people that we met, and that was always just such a sweet and special time and warmed our hearts a lot. So a bit of an unexpected update. We are stuck in Budapest because our flight got canceled, so we're not sure exactly when we will get on the next one. It could be 2 days, could be 1 day, could be whoever knows how long, but it's bedtime, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to get some nice rest. But this is the airport hotel. It's a simple hotel room. Got some, actually, I guess that's, I don't know what's on the TV. I just kind of turned it on for some noise, some kind of sport like biking. And then I put all the extra bed stuff on that one because there's 2 twin in here, but we'll see what happens. So good night. Good morning, guys. So unfortunately we were not able to get a flight the next day after it got canceled. Our flight is not going to be until actually several more days, so we've got some extra time to kill here. So we're going to go tour a castle and then a little bit downtown in the city. So we're gonna go grab some breakfast and then be ready. This was a candy shop we found called the Happy Squirrel, and inside they had so many different candies in all different kinds of shapes. They had animal shape, food shape, just anything you could imagine basically. And after that we continued to tour the rest of the city. This was an extra day that we were able to get in Budapest, so we toured St. Stephen's Basilica again, where the Christmas market had been, except this time we were able to go inside and see just the massive architecture and structure of it and the insane designs and beauty. And later, of course, after we left, I didn't know this until then, but apparently somebody's hand was on display in there, and so I'm actually kind of glad that I missed that because it doesn't seem like something you want to see. Honestly, I was mainly just happy to get out of the cold. This day was absolutely freezing. It was snowing, there was so much wind, and although I'd been fine most of the other part of the week, there was something about this day that I literally wanted to burst into tears because the cold was so painful. Eventually, we also made our way across the bridge to the other side and toward one of the castles, and then later one of the famous lookouts. Touring the city yesterday was probably the coldest day we've had so far, and I basically died from hypothermia, but it was very, very pretty. And today we're just going to take a chill day because tomorrow, hopefully, we will fly out and go home. While we're waiting for the plane, which doesn't come till tomorrow, these are some of the souvenirs that we got in Budapest yesterday. Just a bunch of really cute postcards and then some coasters as well. And then this notebook for my sister, which was from the hotel we were at most of the week. And then Hungary is very big on paprika, so I made sure to get a pouch of that and then a little tin of paprika too. So thankfully these will be super easy to transport and are still fun. The next day, we were finally able to go home, although our flights continued to get canceled as we tried to make them. So we ended up having to go to Paris and then Canada, then finally Atlanta and home. But the main thing is we made it. It was definitely an adventure, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Thank you guys so very much for watching and coming along. Make sure to like and subscribe if you wish, and we will see you in the next one.